The thing about the work that's coming from the Royal Court is that it's doing many different things. So when you're starting to think about writing plays, you are kind of, or I was reading plays like Saved, and it kind of blew my mind really, not just for the kind of subject matter, but the way it's constructed and the dialogue and the kind of freshness to the characters. So I think there are sort of landmark plays that really change or address form in some ways. A lot of Carol Churchill's work, of course, did that, and I was kind of aware of that as, again, sort of plays like, well, Top Girls, obviously, and even I was thinking about Blue Heart, which I did see here, and what a sort of extraordinary kind of turning everything on its head that play was. So those plays, I think, were really. I was really kind of responding to them as a writer, kind of thinking, gosh, the plays that seem to be at a corner point for the ongoing discussion about form are so often coming from the Royal Court. And then I think there are kind of productions where you see something sort of equally moving the theatrical experience forward in terms of the production or direction. A couple of those moments, I suppose maybe that's more associated for me with the Royal Court, with the theatre upstairs. So, remembering possibly 448 Psychosis and that moment where the blinds suddenly opened and, having been in a very internal, difficult sort of psyche for an hour and a half, all of a sudden the kind of the light bathes the auditorium, and even actually recently thinking about the kind of immersive theatre of Liberian Girl and feeling that that was something that felt quite new to me, to be in that kind of extremity of kind of experience. There's lots of different ways in which the Royal Court kind of moves things forward. And what I think is exceptional about the Royal Court is that it doesn't perceive itself to have any kind of custodian role of theatre. It doesn't feel like we need to be, doing a play of this ilk or of this ilk that kind of looks backwards. It always seems to be kind of demanding its artists to be evolving theatre, and the discussion and the debate is about the art form as much as, obviously, the important other thing, which is about reflecting the world. I had 2 productions, and I've worked in both spaces, and what's interesting, I think, about the 2 experiences is that one was very much at the start of my career and really just stepping out, trying to kind of work out what I was about as a writer and what I had to kind of say, and in a sense that was a lovely kind of gentle experience, in an upstairs space. It was a clean break co-commission, so it very much had a brief, and it was quite contained in a way, which was kind of perfect for where I was. And then the other experience was much further on in my career as a playwright, not exactly radical, but much more kind of edgy play, and a play that had maybe more impact than the other one. So the memories that are associated with both are kind of to do with where I was in my kind of writing career, But I think the thing that in both cases I have actually enjoyed the most is sitting in this office discussing the plays with the artistic director, and even before they're written, I think that's the special time. It feels like the place that experimentation with form is not just encouraged but almost expected. So that is why it's always at the forefront of the next era of theatre. It feels to me like it nearly always kind of starts here and bubbles out. It appears to me that artistically it never looks back. The thing about that is that you can never predict, that the organisation can never predict what the writers are going to bring. And I love that about certainly the present incarnation, is it, you're not getting a feeling that the organisation wants this or wants that. The organisation wants what you, the writers, will bring. And that is just a sort of incredible thing, really. So to stay true to that, I think being the people that are at the frontier edge can be difficult in terms of, the critics and the people talking about theatre, and sometimes I perceive that there's a lag. But my hunch is that the theatre is more in touch with its audience, and that actually the audience have an appetite and a kind of readiness for that kind of experimentation and change and forward debate, and I hope that the climate around it becomes maybe easier sometimes for those kind of leaps to be made.